This week on Wilderness Systems Kayak Bassing, Chad Hoover has made his way to Virginia for YakAttack's annual charity kayak fishing tournament. Arriving a few days early, Chad has hooked up with a few friends on one of his favorite big bass lakes in the country, Briery Creek, just outside of Farmville, Virginia.
Dang it. Knew I should have worn my other shoes. So if you look over here on the bank, there is a bare spot, a fork stick, and a bunch of empty worm containers. So in public lakes in the south, those are brim feeding stations. Basically, there's somebody that sits there all day feeding the brim, and I generally tend to catch fish to the right or to the left of that where they can't cast around the brush. So there's usually the telltale bobber hung up in the bushes right out in front of it, a couple of empty worm containers, maybe a natural light can or two. Oh, this is a triple brim feeder. This should be good. Yep, there's the bobber. Boom. It's official. Yeah, Troy's got one. Just stuck her. There you go. Way to start the day off right there. Pretty little fish. We're just looking for his grandma or big sister. Whoa. So I just got here, and anytime I'm fishing a body of water, even if I know it, but I don't know what's going on, I don't know what the conditions have been, and I'm anywhere in pre-spawn, spawn, or post-spawn, I'm gonna start with a lizard. It's deadly effective. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm exploring. I'm looking for places where I expect the fish to be. This is a known spawning area. We're at Briery Creek Lake, Farmville, Virginia. I've got a lot of experience at this place. We filmed a couple of episodes here. Joey Gipe caught a monster here with us. And I've caught a number of really big fish here and brought a bunch of people up here to fish and to catch their personal best. So one of my favorite lakes in the country for big fish, for numbers, and for complexity. This lake has got lots of little shallow flats. It's got deep timber. It's got shallow timber. It's got ditches. It's got creek mouths. It's got humps. It's got it all. And so if you're looking for a man-made reservoir with a lot of standing timber that is challenging but has the opportunity for big fish, Briery Creek Lake is tailor-made for it. I'm here with Brian Vincent from Appomattox River Company and Troy Meyerhofer from the Wilderness Systems Pro staff from New York City. What I really like about this place is it's a complex fishery. You know, anglers come in here and have a lot of success, or anglers come in here and get really frustrated. And I was fortunate enough to be young and hard-headed when I first started fishing it, and I really wanted to learn it and master it. And I actually didn't catch hardly anything the first 2 or 3 times that I come, but I realized as awesome as it looks, it's just gotta have fish.
Not a big one, but.
And I happened to be here fishing once after work when I was stationed in Norfolk in the Navy, and the Department of Game and Inland Fisheries was doing a shocking survey, and they shocked up the biggest bass I've ever personally laid eyes on in my life at a little over 16 pounds. So then, of course, I was hooked.
Yeah, I knew there was a fish back in that hole. Come here.
Oh!
Time to sharpen the hooks.
Oh man, that was fun.
My name's Brian Vincent. Most folks call me Vince, and I work at Appomattox River Company. And we are currently in my backyard, which is Briery Creek Lake. Our shop's located about 10-15 minutes from here, so I fish here more often than any other place. The dam was formed in, I think, '86, and then the fishing was opened up shortly after that, and they stocked this lake with Florida strain bass. They wanted them to grow and grow big. And they thought, you know, with all this flooded timber, they are providing pretty excellent habitat. They did fell some trees, but they left a lot standing, so you'll see stands of them throughout the lake. And it really provides an amazing habitat for large bass. And so it has that mystique and has had that mystique for a number of years. The heavy timber, the heavy stump coverage, you really kind of have to have, you have to alter your techniques a little bit. A lot of folks will come out here and get frustrated because they'll lose, you know, a handful of lures their first time, but it's a learning process. And once you get it down, it becomes most folks' favorite place.
Here we go. It's a decent fish. That's a nice healthy fish, and man, that sucker choked that swim bait. Let me pop this thing out of here and I'll show you what I'm fishing. He gobbled it though. Pretty fish right there. Get him back in the water. So Zoom just came out with these new hollow body swim baits, and for the money, they're kind of right there. These and Strike King Shadowlicious are probably my two favorites, but when the grass isn't up and I'm fishing around wood, but I got a lot of open water, these new Mustad Ultra Point bullet heads, this is a 1/2 ounce. They're the Mustad Ultra Point bullet head jig heads, just money. They deflect off of wood real nice if you do run them into the wood. If they hang up, you can knock them off real easy with a plug knocker. You can reel your rod down and tap them off of there, or you can just loosen up on the line and the weight of the bullet head will make it fall off of the wood as long as you don't set the hook. So that little Ultra Point swim bait bullet head combination right there is freaking deadly. There you go. Don't lose her. Keep
She wrapped around a tree.
Oh, come on. Pull your power pole up and work your way to her.
Nope, there.
Nice.
Well, she's around a tree, but she's still hooked. There she goes.
Oh. I thought you had a pig for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to retie this thing. The line is all chewed up.
You know, I'm a big fan of scents and attractants, and I generally have two philosophies. If I'm using a dispersant type scent or a liquid that's going to spread out, I want the bait to sit still and it'll draw the fish in. And then if I'm moving the lure and I want them to just have confirmation when they pick it up, then I use the paste style baits. But right now with this water being 66 degrees, it's right in that window between 65 and 70, 75, where I like to do a combination of the two. And so I'll put a little paste on there, and then I'll add a little of the dispersant scent, especially when I first start casting into a pocket, and it kind of works the fish up a bit. We're off peak right now, so the fish aren't exactly chasing. So I'm just putting the odds in my favor. Another thing that I like to do quite a bit is if I've got to retie or if I've got to do something, I'll take a lizard, a trick worm, a Cinco, add a little scent to it, cast it out, prop my rod up so I can see it if something hits it and I don't let the fish swallow it. But it's just a way to keep a lure in the water and keep that, you know, play the percentage game to keep the odds in your favor. Yeah, I got it. Pretty little fish. Healthy. Well, they like this lizard. 5 casts and nothing. And I added a little bio edge to it, and first cast caught a fish. Bio edge is the ticket That scent gets them. These little guys are gobbling this lizard.